Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here Maitreya will be describing about Kala, energy of the Lord, time, and how one can get the idea of time from the description of atoms is what will be described further in these chapters. This chapter is entitled Calculation of Time from the Atom. So as you can see here, it is very interesting to understand whatever is known today to the scientist is already known, is already described in the Vedic literature. But whatever is described in the Vedic literature, many more things may not be known today. So, here is one example, and Prabhupada is saying here in the purport, the atomic description of the Srimad Bhagavatam is almost the same as the modern science of atomism. And this is further described in Parmanu Vada of Canada. In modern science also, the atom is accepted as the ultimate indivisible particle of which the universe is composed. Srimad Bhagavatam is the full text of all descriptions of knowledge, including the theory of atomism. So here is what we can find the description about the atomic theory which is given in Srimad Bhagavatam also. But there is a slight difference. That is what we will try to understand. In one of our earlier classes, we were hearing about the approach of modern scientists in studying material nature and approach of Vedic literature in studying material nature. Both we are finding here, description is about material creation, how the creation happened, all those description is given. And modern scientists also, they also try to study material nature, but there is a difference in approach. Can anyone say what did we hear few days back? What is the difference in approach of the Vedic literature when the Vedic literature is studying material nature, it is describing material nature, and when the scientists, they are trying to find out about the material nature? Anyone? Ram Gopal?
Vedic science considers God as a cause of all processes.
Okay. What about the modern science? Huh? Yes, very good. The scientists, they try to study material nature to exploit material nature for their sense enjoyment. Vedic literature's approach in trying to understand the creation is about understanding the personality behind this creation. So there is a completely different approach. Factually, even though they want to know what is behind, but their whole idea is, after finding out, to try to exploit that. So that is one difference. Here, with respect to the atomic theory, let us try to see the difference between the modern science, its approach, and Srimad Bhagavatam's approach. So what is atomic theory according to modern science? Anyone knows? What does it say? What is the description of this? Even this kind of description is found even in many Vedic scholars also, like Parmanu Vada of Canada. Anyone? What is atomic theory? Atomism. Okay, atom is indivisible particle. Then, one aspect. Atom is smallest particle. Okay, indivisible particle. Then, anything else? Yes. They say everything is constituted by the combination of these atoms. Life symptom is also by combination of these atoms. So they say, factually, everything, if you find out, if you study this world, if you break it down, ultimately, atom. So this is their understanding, that there is no other cause apart from the combination of atom. The manifestation which we see around us is a permutation and combination of these atoms. Now what does Srimad Bhagavatam say about atomic theory? So Prabhupada is saying, atomic description of Srimad Bhagavatam is almost the same as the modern science of atomism. So in what respect it is same, and then we will see in what respect it is distinct. In what respect it is same? Yes. So Vedic literatures also say that there is something called Paramanu, which is called indivisible. Sometimes Anu and Paramanu is used together like that, but actually speaking, Prabhupada explains that it is 6 Anus which make one Paramanu. What the modern scientists know about is only Paramanu. They have no idea about Anu. They have no idea that 6 further, they are actually called as atoms. But in general terms, Paramanu is also called as an atom. So, they have an understanding that there is a particle which is indivisible. they may call it atom. So similarly, the Vedic literature also say, yes, there is a particle which is indivisible, which cannot be divided further. This is same. And then further it also says, the whole cosmic manifestation is a permutation and combination of these atomic particles. But there is another very important understanding. So Prabhupada asks an important question, because according to modern scientists, in the end only atoms are there. If you break down this whole cosmic manifestation, they will find only atom. But the question to ask is, where did the atom come from? So this is one distinction. Srimad Bhagavatam points out about the origin of atom. Even though Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, yes, the indivisible particle is atom, and the combination and permutation of it is only what Brahma has created this whole bodies. Different kinds of manifestation is made by permutation and combination of these atoms only. But atom has not come by itself. It has come from the energy of the Supreme Lord. Further, Bhagavatam and the Vedic literature also describe that this atom which is making the different manifestation of bodies is inferior atom. There is a superior atom which is smaller than this material atom. Keshagra shatabhagasya shatadha kalpitasya cha. And that atom is called spiritual atom. So further Srimad Bhagavatam describes, not only there is material atom which makes the different material manifestation, the life force is present not because of combination of material atoms. It is another atom which is called as spiritual atom, and it is called superior atom. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna describes this. So Prabhupada explains this word bhinna prakriti me ashtadha and apareyam very nicely. What does apareyam means? Inferior. So one distinction between material atom and spiritual atom is this atom which makes the body, which makes all other things, whatever we are seeing, it is actually inferior atom. There is another atom which is called as superior. Jiva bhuto mahabaho yayedam dhariyet jagat. The living entities, the spirit soul is spiritual atom. So this cosmic manifestation is not just a combination of material atom, it is a combination of material and spiritual atom. This is what the Vedic literature points out. Prabhupada says, bhinna, separated. Very nicely Prabhupada describes in another terms. Prabhupada says, bhinna means the quality of different, not the same quality. Means Krishna's quality is spiritual. He is all spiritual. Bhinna means the moment it becomes separated, it is not of the same quality. Even though it has emanated from Krishna, it is not of the same quality. Prabhupada gives an example. What does it mean? Prabhupada explains, just like a child in its unconscious state, when it has not become conscious. Suppose the child is born at around 7 months or so, the child develops some sign of consciousness. Then he starts feeling pain and pleasure. Before that, even though life is there, it is not conscious. So Prabhupada explains, matter actually comes from spirit. Scientists are saying opposite. See the difference. Difference is they are saying from matter life comes. Vedic literatures are saying no, matter has come out from life. That life is Krishna. From him, bhinna prakriti, matter has come out. And Prabhupada explains, actually it is spiritual. In dormant stage it is spiritual. Just like a child. The child, when it is not in conscious stage, it is dormant. The consciousness is dormant. So matter in its undeveloped stage, spirit in its undeveloped stage is called matter. Actually everything is spiritual. That is how we find for Krishna there is no difference. He can change spirit into matter, matter into spirit. So in that sense, atom is also spiritual, but it is in undeveloped state of consciousness. So this is another important difference which Vedic literature points out, which the modern scientists have no idea about. So, the modern scientists, they study the atoms, the different atomic theory, and their whole idea of study is how to understand the intricacies, the different laws, so that I can utilize it, we can utilize all those, exploit all those laws for our sensual enjoyment. That is their whole idea. But, so we will try to understand, when a devotee is trying to understand about atom, what does he understand? The scientist will take it, okay, atom is not divisible, and through atomic theory, what does he try to invent? He tries to invent atomic bomb. Right? For what? For exploiting happiness, for exploiting some ananda, exploiting other living entities. Whereas, when a devotee is studying atomic theory, his understanding of studying atomic theory is completely different. Once, Prabhupada, he was walking in the park. He was, in the morning walk, he was going, and along with his disciples, he was walking through the park. So while he was walking through the park, the disciple asked this question to Prabhupada. Prabhupada, how does a pure devotee try to see Krishna in every atom? How does a devotee see? Now you are walking in the park. How do you see Krishna in this park? Isn't it? So he asked this question. So Prabhupada said, yes, a devotee of the Lord, a pure devotee of the Lord, he is able to see Krishna in everything. He is able to see Krishna everywhere. So then the devotee was confused. Then the devotee asked, Okay, let me try to clarify how does he see Krishna. Then he said, suppose there are 3 walls. This is one wall, this is another wall, this is another wall. So does he see Krishna in this wall? And does he see Krishna in that another second wall? And he sees Krishna in the third wall? So Prabhupada said, yes. So, where is Krishna's form starting in this wall and where it ends in that wall? How does he differentiate the 3 Krishnas in different walls? You see. So then Prabhupada clarified to him. Prabhupada said, now I am walking in this park, I am wearing spectacles. Right? So what do you see when you see my spectacles? So he said, I see that this is Prabhupada's spectacles. It is your spectacles. Then he pointed out. He pointed to his shoes. What do you see when I am wearing these shoes? He said, I am seeing that these are Prabhupada's shoes. Isn't it? And the moment I see that these are Prabhupada's shoes, I know that they are worshipable shoes. Right? The devotee is telling his concept. When I am seeing these shoes, I am seeing that it is Prabhupada's shoes. So Prabhupada said, this is how we see Krishna. When we are walking, we are seeing everything related to the Supreme Lord. Everything is Krishna's energy. It is not that Krishna is directly present in that sense. Of course, he is present in the form of Paramatma. There is no doubt about it. He sees, the pure devotee also sees the Lord present as Paramatma in every atom. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. Right? It is said in Brahma Samhita, the Lord is present not only in the universe, He is present even in every Paramanu. And that is how Paramanus are able to combine with each other. This people have no idea. Without a superior force, Paramanu cannot even combine with each other to form different forms. That is possible because of presence of Paramatma in Paramanu. So this understanding also they don't have. So Prabhupada explains that how, when a devotee sees anything related to Krishna, he sees actually Krishna in that way. But then Prabhupada clarifies, but that does not mean that if a devotee is seeing Krishna everywhere, it does not mean, just like if you go to Vrindavan temple, in our Vrindavan temple, Shyam Sundar temple, Prabhupada points out, the deities are black and white. And the floor is also black and white. Right? Does it mean you can worship floor also? It is also made of the same marble. The same marble of which Krishna and Balaram is made black and white, the same marble is present in the floor also. Does it mean we will worship the floor? So that understanding also should be there. Even though Krishna is present, even in the floor, no doubt about it. But Krishna says, I am not personally present. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. Krishna is present as avyakta. He is not manifested. Whereas in the deity's form, the Lord is manifested. That is the difference. You see. But of course, still a devotee has proper understanding. It does not mean, okay, Krishna is not present in this floor, Krishna is not manifested in this floor, let us keep it dirty. What is there? Anyway, it is not Krishna. Isn't it? So then Prabhupada explains, somebody may think, I am working in the altar, directly present before the manifested deities of Krishna and Balaram. So this is more important. Somebody else is working in the garden. that is not very important. Anyway, Krishna is not manifested. Prabhupada says, no, achintya bheda abheda tattva. You have to understand, Krishna is simultaneously present and also not present. So you cannot apply one extreme and say Krishna is not present, so let me neglect it. Krishna is present in all his paraphernalias. And then Prabhupada quotes that famous verse which we sing in the morning. What is the verse we sing in the morning? Related to temple cleaning. Shri Vigrahara Dhananityanana Shringara Mandir Marjanadishu. See, Prabhupada gives both examples. Not only the spiritual master trains his disciple in decorating the deities, he also trains them in cleansing the temple, because both are non-different. So you cannot say that, okay, I am worshipping the Lord in the altar, I am more important, and somebody is cleaning the temple, he is less important. No. Everything which is belonging to Krishna, everything which is related to Krishna is Krishna. It is Advaya Jnana in that sense. That is how the devotee takes. Not that this is Krishna, because it is related to the Lord. It is energy of the Lord. It is utilized in the service of the Lord. So it is worshipable. Prabhupada says that is why when a devotee goes to Mathura, Vrindavan, he takes the dust. The dust is also as worshipable as Krishna. The dust of Vrindavan, because it is related to the Lord. The Lord has walked over that. It is related to the Lord. So it is also as worshipable as the Lord himself. So this is the distinction between when a devotee tries to understand what is this material nature, how it is made up of, how are atom, what is atom. In order to understand the real relationship of this material creation with the Supreme Lord, that it is not independent, it is the energy of the Lord, it is related to the Lord. So, in that sense, a devotee tries to understand, and in that sense is the description given in Srimad Bhagavatam. This is not a philosophy of impersonalism which is given in Bhagavatam when it is talking about atoms and all these things. Atoms in relation with the Supreme Lord. Atoms in relation with the creation of the Supreme Lord. And that is how we should study, not as a separated branch. Prabhupada gives an example. If there is a tree, you cut out the tree, you cut out one branch of the tree, and you study the branch for millions of years. What is the value of that? What is the value of that dead branch? The branch is valuable as long as it is connected to, it is alive as long as it is connected to the tree. So similarly, any study we do, if it is disconnected from the Supreme Lord, it is useless, it has no value. Whereas all these assumes value, whether it is atomic theory, whether it is Parmanuvada, anything. All these things assumes value only when they are studied in relation with absolute truth. So we'll stop with this. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada. Any questions anybody has?
The modern theory says earlier they said inclusive atoms in this. Whereas later it is considered quantum theory. Recently they have gone back particles. So many things.
Yes. Correct. Their idea of atom, that's what I said. Their idea of atom is not the idea of exactly the atom in the Vedic literature. Because according to Vedic literature, the 6 anus is what makes a Parmanu. So that is smaller than that. That is called indivisible. So their understanding of indivisible today is different. But tomorrow they will understand something else is indivisible. But there is a particle which is indivisible, which cannot be further divided. That actually can be called as atom. Today what they call atom may not be actually the atom. Today what they call atom may not be actually the atom. So, even in that sense, actually, that is what Prabhupada wanted, that the devotees should have a proper understanding of the Vedic literature so that we can defeat these so-called material scientists about their understanding of atomic theory. So one devotee, he compared that actually Prabhupada, even though they also study atomic theory, but they cannot see Krishna. Whereas devotees, they study atomic theory, but they can see Krishna behind that. Isn't it? So he compared, he gave the example that actually it is like the Pandavas and the Kauravas. Kauravas are present, but they are not able to see Krishna. They are seeing Krishna, but they are not able to see the Supreme Lord Krishna. Pandavas are present, but they are able to see Krishna. So that is the distinction. So Prabhupada then said, yes, that is correct. We are like the Pandavas. They are like the Kauravas. We should blow the conch in such a way, Hridayam Vyadarat, their heart should shake. Just like Duryodhana's heart, when the Pandavas blew their conch shell, their hearts were shaking. So similarly, the devotees should blow the conch. Blowing the conch means they should preach so vigorously that the heart of this so-called material scientist, they should shake when we preach with proper conviction and understanding. So, stop with this. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.